This program is made possible by the annual financial support from viewers like you and
Tuesday night at 9.
We chose to be in the news business.
Local news.
You've seen the news team at 6 News through a year of overhaul, a year of turmoil.
They're in charge, I'm not.
They took the high road.
You don't have to succumb to flash and trash to win in this business.
And hoped the ratings would rise. But did they succeed?
We've missed the boat quite a bit.
And who's left to care?
If it doesn't work out, I'll find another gig.
Find out in the final episode of Local News.
Join us Tuesday evening at 10.
Stand forward, he's calling.
TV worth watching: WCMU Channel 14 Mount Pleasant, WCML Channel 6 Alpena, WCMW Channel 21 Manistee, WCMV Channel 27 Cadillac, and Channel 46 Traverse City, Channel 69 Leland, a public service of Central Michigan University.
Monday night at 9 o'clock.
Many of today's programs on CMU Public Television are made possible in part by a grant from the Mount Pleasant Rotary Club and the Muskegon Development Company of Mount Pleasant.
TV worth watching: WCMU Channel 14 Mount Pleasant, WCML Channel 6 Alpena, WCMW Channel 21 Manistee, WCMV Channel 27 Cadillac, and Channel 46 Traverse City, Channel 69 Leland, a public service of Central Michigan University.
This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
This is PBS.
Jack Horkheimer, stargazer, director of the Miami Space Transit Planetarium, tells you all about the night sky and the biggest show of all, the universe. And now this week's episode.
A Venus and crescent moon sky goodie, and say farewell to Sagittarius. Greetings, greetings, fellow stargazers. You know, every so often when Venus makes an evening appearance, a brand new slender sliver of a crescent moon sometimes appears close to Venus in what I have long called Venus Moon Super Sky Goodies. And one of these sky goodies is about to occur. Something that is so visually beautiful that it has caught the eye of human beings for thousands of years and has often been depicted in works of art. Let me show you. Okay, we've got our skies set up for any night this week at dusk. That is just after sunset, but before it gets completely dark out. And if you look southwest, you will see brilliant, dazzling 8,000-mile-wide Venus. But if you go out at the same time this Sunday, October 29th, and if you have a clear, flat horizon, unobstructed by buildings and haze, you should see an absolutely exquisite 2-day-old waxing, slender sliver of a crescent moon just to the right of Venus. And if you're lucky, you may even see the old moon in the new moon's arms, which is a faint image of the full moon nestled in the bright crescent moon, caused by what we call earth shine, which is nothing more than sunlight shining on our earth and bouncing off our earth onto the dark portion of the moon. And if you've never seen this combo of Venus and a crescent moon with earth shine, it will truly take your breath away. But if you miss this on the 29th, you'll still see another exquisite pairing of the moon and Venus the next night, Monday, October 30th. And while you're looking at these two worlds, beautiful as they are, you might want to remind yourself that while our moon is a 2,000-mile wide world, only 245,000 miles away on the 29th and 30th, Venus is an 8,000-mile wide world, 115 million miles away on the 29th and 30th. Which means that when we look at the moon on these evenings, because light travels 186,000 miles a second, we are actually seeing the moon as it existed 1 1/4 seconds ago, while we are seeing Venus as it actually existed 600 seconds or 10 minutes ago. Now, the next 2 nights, the waxing crescent moon will pass just above the stars of the teapot portion of Sagittarius. In fact, on Halloween night, it will hover just above the 3 stars which make up the lid of the teapot. And these stars are so far away that we see them as they existed 62 years ago, 140 years ago, and 220 years ago. Then on Wednesday night, November 1st, a still exquisite moon will hover just above the brightest star of the teapot's handle, which we see today as it existed 170 years ago. So, whenever we look at objects in the night sky, in effect, we are never seeing them as they actually exist in time right now, but as they existed at some time in the past, depending on how far away they are. Once again, Moon and Venus on Sunday the 29th, and again on Monday the 30th. And on Halloween, the moon above the lid of the teapot. And November 1st, above the brightest star in the teapot's handle. What a lovely way to end one month and begin another. I'm Jack Horkheimer. Keep looking up.
Jack Horkheimer's Stargazer is brought to you in part by Orion Telescopes and Binoculars, tools for discovering the planets, moon, and stars right from your own backyard. Orion has been serving stargazers since 1975.
Confused about the cosmos? Can't tell a planet from a star? Then give us just 5 minutes, and we'll show you what they are. Jack Horkheimer, Stargazer, director of the Miami Space Transit Planetarium, tells you all about the night sky and the biggest show of all, the universe. And now this week's episode.
Find the 2 largest planets the next 2 weekends using the moon. Greetings, greetings, fellow stargazers. If you're one of those who has difficulty identifying the planets, every once in a while our moon pays a visit to some of them, thus enabling you to use the moon as a finder. And such is the case this weekend and next, when our moon will visit the 2 largest planets in our solar system. Okay, we've got our sky set up for this week around 8 p.m. your local time facing southwest, where you'll see some of the brightest stars in the heavens all gathered together. And that's because winter's skies have the brightest stars, and they are all relatively close to each other. Directly in front of you, you'll see the wonderful stars that make up Orion the Giant Hunter, his great dog, Canis Major, Taurus the Bull, Auriga the Charioteer, and Gemini the Twins, with its 2 brightest stars, Castor and Pollux. And this year, an object close to them, which usually isn't there. The wonderful ringed world, 75,000-mile wide Saturn, which is currently almost at its closest and brightest it gets, and super for viewing through even a cheap department store telescope. But if you're still having trouble telling a planet from a star, then wait until this Friday, the 18th, when an exquisite gibbous moon will be parked underneath Castor and Pollux and to the side of Saturn. Now, one little hint if you're still not sure, which of these 3 is Saturn? Just remember that only stars twinkle, planets never do. So if the air is rather turbulent this Friday, you may see Castor and Pollux twinkling like mad, and Saturn glowing with a steady light. Now, if it's cloudy on Friday, then go out the next night, Saturday the 19th, and the moon will be smack dab on a line with Pollux and Castor, and even closer to Saturn, only 6 degrees away. Once again, this Friday the 18th, the moon below and to the right of Saturn and Pollux and Castor, and then Saturday, the moon on a line with Pollux and Castor, and just above Saturn. So, what about the other bright planet, the biggest of them all? Well, simply wait until the following weekend and go outside at the same time, 8 p.m. on Friday the 25th, and look east instead of southwest. And just above the horizon, you'll see a brilliant full moon, only 6 degrees above 88,000-mile-wide Jupiter. And if you've got a small telescope handy, believe me, not only will the moon look wonderful, but you'll actually be able to see several bands of atmosphere circling Jupiter's equator, and 1, 2, 3, or 4 of its largest moons. But if it's cloudy on the 25th, go out the next night, Saturday the 26th, and you'll see just how fast the moon moves in a 24-hour period. Because now a just past full moon would be almost the same distance below Jupiter as it was above it. Once again, Friday the 25th and Saturday the 26th. So, if you happen to be out with friends the next couple of weekends and want to impress them, around 8 p.m., point out Saturn and Jupiter. And it won't count against you if you don't tell anyone that you use the moon as a finder. Keep looking up. Add to your Stargazer video library with Make the Stars Your Own. Only $19.95 plus postage and handling. Order it now and ask about our other Stargazer videos.